Hey guys, it's Hinda and welcome to Cooking Fantasies. In today's video, we're going to be making the best fudgy brownies ever. I really tried many brownies recipe and I bet I'm not the only one, but this is so far my favorite recipe. It really has everything in terms of flavor. It's really rich, dark, chocolatey, but it's not too much. It's not too sweet. It's really delicious and it has the perfect texture. It's gluey, fudgy. It's really good and you can enjoy it cold or warm. It just tastes amazing. We're going to be baking these delicious fudgy brownies with walnuts. They are perfect with the dark chocolate, but if you cannot eat walnuts, you're allergic or whatever, you can simply leave them out and use the same recipe. But if you do eat them, I recommend you to go ahead and add them to your brownies. They are perfect. We're also going to be using a combination of dark chocolate and cocoa powder because that's how we will get the perfect combination of texture and flavor. If you are new to the channel, we make a lot of delicious things here, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell to get all the notifications. And as always, the full recipe with all the ingredients you're going to need in both the grams and cups measurements you're going to find down in the description box, so let's get baking. You probably already know that or heard that, but the quality of the chocolate you are using makes a huge difference when it comes to the flavor of your brownies. So you can use any kind of chocolate you prefer, either chocolate bars or baking chocolate. Go for a very good quality, good flavor, and at least 60% if you can find that. And if your chocolate comes in bars or blocks, you want to chop it first and melt it with the butter. And you can do this either on a hot water bath to melt slowly or in a microwave, but make sure not to microwave for more than 30 seconds at a time while stirring, meanwhile in between 30 seconds to make sure the mixture doesn't overheat. And while they're melting, I'm gonna prepare my baking dish. You can use anything you have handy. I'm using the square one for the classical brownie shape, but go ahead and use whatever you have in the kitchen. It doesn't really matter as long as it's not too big. I used some vegetable oil to make the parchment paper stick to the baking dish, and then I overlaid 2 pieces of parchment paper. Make sure to cover the bottom and all the sides. By now the chocolate and the butter should have melted, so put them on the side and allow them to cool. You're gonna need them to be cool before you add them to the batter. In a separate clean bowl, we're going to start mixing the ingredients. Here, I use the combination of both white granulated sugar and brown sugar because I really want everything from both. But if you don't have brown sugar, you have only white sugar, go ahead and use only that, or only brown sugar if you prefer to. But if you can do this combination of both, it's really perfect. To my sugar, I'm going to be adding the vanilla extract, and then I'm going to be adding the eggs one at a time while whisking just with the hands. We don't need to incorporate too much hair or use a mixer. You can use a hand mixer if you prefer to, but you can also do this just with your hands. Once you have incorporated all the eggs, you're going to go ahead and add your chocolate ganache. So the chocolate and butter mixture should be already cooled down. It shouldn't be hot, but not thickened. So it should be still runny, but cool. So keep pouring it gradually on your first mixture of sugar and eggs while whisking continuously. And trust me, at this point, it already smells really good. Once everything is well combined, we're gonna go ahead and sift in the dry ingredients. Again, I use here Dutch processed cocoa powder because it has a richer flavor. It also has a darker color. If you don't have this, you have a normal cocoa powder, go ahead and use it also, but it does really make a difference. To which I added a half teaspoon of cinnamon. Now this is optional. You really don't taste the cinnamon in the brownies, but it does bring out more the chocolatey flavor and it kind of balances everything out. If you don't like it, you can omit it and you can use a half teaspoon of espresso powder, for example. It also does the same job. And again, using just your hands, take a spatula and fold in the dry ingredients into the wet ones slowly. And once everything is nicely well combined, take your time to do that. You don't want to overmix it or use too much power. You want to keep all this nice gooey texture. Go ahead and add the walnuts. Now, if you don't like walnuts or you don't want to add them, just leave them out. But if you do, they are really nice. They add more texture and flavor, and they go amazing with the dark chocolate taste. Also, I'm only going to be using about the 2/3 of the quantity to mix in the batter, and the rest I'm going to be adding to the top of my brownies. Once you have folded all the nuts in, pour the butter into the baking tin that you have already prepared, and try to resist not to leak it because it's really delicious and it smells nice. And finally, add the rest of the walnuts to the top of the brownies. The oven should be preheated to 175 degrees Celsius, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You're gonna have to bake your brownies between 20 to 25 minutes. This depends on your oven, on the dish you're using, how thick it is. But what we're looking for is a very shiny surface. When you move the dish, it's not jiggly. But if you insert a toothpick, for example, it's gonna come out not clean with stuff on it still. But this is totally normal. You just need to look out for the shiny surface and not jiggly center. Then you're gonna remove it from the oven and allow it to rest for another 10 to 15 minutes, and it will keep cooking even out of the oven. And then try really hard to wait for another 15 to 20 minutes till it starts cooling before you slice it, because this is how you get really nice, neat cuts in your slices. It was really hard for me to wait so long, so I already started cutting it before it cooled down. And now finally you can share it and enjoy it with your loved ones. It is really good, trust me. You're gonna have to try this recipe if you like brownies. And if you do, please let me know how it turned out. I'm always happy to read from you, to read your comments, your feedback on Instagram and Facebook. It's really amazing. Thank you guys. I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell to get all the notifications. And see you soon in a new video. Happy baking!